Hello, friends. Here we are for another study of the book Green Light by the Spirit André Luiz through the mediumship of Francisco Cândido Xavier. What a blessing and an honor to be with you this morning. And today is chapter 39. André Luiz is going to bring us some questions, some issues for us to meditate about. Very practical, short, concise, much depth to these teachings today. So we'll talk first about words. He says, you will dominate or you control the words you don't say or you don't utter. However, you have to bear the consequences or you'll be subordinate to the ones you do utter. So he's saying, think before you say things, because you will control those things you don't say to people, to yourself, and to others, but you'll be subordinate to those words we actually say. Remember, when we are speaking, we have a tendency to speak a lot, to overshare, to give opinions, even though people didn't ask us about. He say, you will be subordinate to the words you do speak. So let's be careful. First, let's be honest where we are, what kind of words we're saying, what kind of conversations we're engaging on. And then we are able to triage our thoughts. Not everything that comes to mind needs to be said. Sometimes we can listen very carefully and ask our mentors during the conversation, should I say something? What should I say? And they'll come inspire you. And then you have control over the words you didn't say, and you have the consequence of the words that you do speak towards people. Next sentence he says, quote, strive for a tranquil conscience. Or if you want to say in another way, strive for peace of mind without neglecting your physical appearance. So he's saying, be mindful of how you look. You want to consciously go around the world, about your day in the world, and have an honest way of dressing, a way that honors you, your body, in a way that highlights the blessed existence that we have, but not in a vulgar way, in a way that is too much, but in a way that you can say, you can look back and have the peace of mind, the conscience that is, you don't suffer over the choices. That also means taking care of nutrition, exercise, spiritual nutrition, right? Again, the words we are saying, who are we interacting with, the thoughts we have, who is around us, a whole host of multi-dimensions for us to think about. Quote, regarding food, it is important to remember the Roman phrase, quote, there are people who dig their own graves by their mouth. So here we have, let me just adjust this pronoun here. There are people who dig their own graves by their mouth. So, quote, when we have this blessed physical body that many others are waiting to have, then we honor it, we thank it by having it have nutritious, healthy foods, so that we're not digging our own grave by ingesting substances that we know are unhealthy for us. So a gradual change in the things we ingest mindfully. If you do mindful eating, You see how the teachings of Spiritism are so much in alignment with others. If you go to Thich Nhat Hanh, the Buddhist monk, you talk about mindful eating. When you do mindful eating, that's all you do for 15 minutes is chew your food, feel the texture of the food, the taste of the food, the smell of the food. Naturally eat last. Also, where is my food coming from? What is the treatment of that soil? And if you consume animal products, the treatment of those beings that are being used. So all of that affects us. So we want to be mindful of giving the body the nourishment it needs in the physical and in the spiritual sense. This is a good one. He says, as much as you can, as much as possible, as much as possible. In any obligation you take, you have to do, or task to be fulfilled, arrive at least 10 minutes earlier to that commitment you made. Unquote. How many of us leave our homes? We feel we have so much to do. We fill our calendars with everything. We're unable to say no to certain things, and then we are always exasperated everywhere we go. We're always late. We get to the spiritual center, bringing it to our experience 2 minutes before it starts, so I don't have time to mindfully interact with the mentors. I'm still thinking about the drive, the work, and then I'm there, but I'm not thinking about it, or I'm at work thinking about home. He's saying for any commitment, for any obligation, at least 10 minutes early. We want to think about also being respectful to others who got there early, to the mentors who have stuff to do. They're not just waiting for us to be fashionably late, right? It's about respect for other people's time. Another important thing he says, inaction or idleness paralyzes any faculty. It's the same analogy of the stagnant waters. When water is stagnant, bacteria grows in it, fungi grows in it, that ultimately can render that water unsuitable for health. And when we are idle, we paralyze the faculties. Which faculties? When I'm not learning something new, I can't apply it. When I'm watching a video, for example, every day for 2 hours at night, I'm not doing something else that is more helpful to myself and to humanity. When every weekend I want to enjoy, then I'm not out there serving those who have less than I do. Idleness paralyzes the faculties that you have received and developed throughout the millennia of reincarnation, right? He says, a spontaneous smile is a blessing that attracts more blessings. So when you're walking down the streets, now that we are able to walk around in the outdoors without masks, we can smile at people. They have mirror neurons. It's very difficult not to smile at someone that smiles towards you. And that's contagious. The joy is contagious. The happiness is contagious. The good humor and the optimism are contagious. He says, serving beyond your duty is not flattery, or it's not flattering, but it provides security. Each person you help, it is a key to the solutions of your problems. Unquote. Those two go together. When we go above and beyond, when we do more than we expected. For example, when we care for our family, that's duty, right? Those who were able to grant us the life we have today, because we're here incarnated because someone donated of their time, effort, womb material, genetic material for us to be here and cared for us when we were young. That's duty to give back to them. But giving to the rest of the humanity, it's going above and beyond. It's our duty to fulfill the law of society, the law of labor, to multiply the talents we are given. So he's saying, serving beyond the duty provides security. Why? There's a different article, the Spiritist magazine, titled Spiritual Relationships. Then when I help someone, when you help someone, whether you believe in any of the stuff we're talking about, you are making alliances of goodness with the spirits who love that person. And those spirits one day may be able to help you when you are in a situation. It's exactly the next phase, the next phrase, where he's saying each person you help is the key, like the key that opens the solution to your problems. So we learn from one another, we help one another. Not that we are going to do help just because someone can give us, but we just help. We help everyone that comes our way with with the joy of service, because we know also in regular science, not just in spiritism, that service is good for health. Volunteering is good for health. Going above and beyond is good for health. So next time you're at the Spiritist Center, it can start at home, asking your partner, what can I do today to love you more? Picking up an extra set of dishes, not leaving your stuff all over the place, taking out the trash. Those are little actions of loving and kind, because we want to live in an organized place. Then we can expand to the people in our neighborhood. We can stop to give directions. We can pay forward in the drive-through. We can help folks at work find their location. We can help new employees be onboarded. It's just so much that we can do. And then we become that web of help and goodness, co-creating with Christ each and every day in our lives and the life of others. And he says, it's normal to have people who might envy you, but not to make enemies. So as we go about our day and we watch what we say, we control the words. We're caring for our conscience and our appearance in a way that is dignified. We think about what we eat mindfully. What am I feeding my physical body with in terms of food? Salad, for example, but also spiritual nourishment, right? When you go to places, you arrive early on time, you harmonize with the area you're going, you pray for that place, you ask permission from Jesus to allow you to go there. You don't stay idle. You don't go to a place like the Spiritist Center and then you just wait for people to serve you, or the church or work. We are there to say, what can I give to that place? And then we smile at people, we serve, we build those relationships to be the key to each other's problems. It's inevitable that someone may envy us, but he says, don't make enemies. Don't force people into this way of being. But when you go about your day truly living the teachings of the Christ, not just knowing, but feeling and doing it, then people are going to look at you like, what kind of stuff they're ingesting to be that happy? The world is about to end. They might be envious of your peace of mind, but don't make them of enemies. Don't force them. Invite them. Explain. Share. Say, here, watch this video about under Luiz green light. And we need to do something that the spiritists are missing. Is really this outreach through our actions. How can we serve others? And we are being observed by the beings in the spiritual realm and by the beings in the physical realm. But also we need to be very proud of knowing the teachings of Spiritism so we can apply it. We can explain to people in a way that makes sense. We're going to share the content. We have to like the content because that's the way knowledge is spread in this world. We have to stop being shy. The good is meek and shy. We have to be bold and say, this is the content I want to watch. Uplifting messages that help me grow, and therefore I can grow in my service to others. Isn't that beautiful? He said that for each good action you practice, each good action you practice, it is a light that you shine around your pathway. Isn't it beautiful? You make an action and your path is brighter, more enlightened. Very important, but last but not least, he says, those who speak less listen better. And those who listen better will learn more. So 2 ears, one mouth, 2 eyes, one mouth. We watch, we observe, we discern, we serve, we help, and we move on. Isn't that wonderful? Issues to meditate about. Chapter 39 of the book Green Light. I welcome your presence. God willing, I'll be back with you next week. Thank you so much for being here. Until then, stay well, stay safe, help someone out there. I'll see you soon.